And we are just about ready to go. The first meeting went to halftime tied at 7, and Luke Wierman wins the face-off for Maryland and into the stick of their goalie.
Contact for John Tillman and the Terps.
Welcome those of you watching Syracuse and Virginia, and a big win for the Cuse today as Maryland has just hopped on the board. Jared Bernhardt, the all-time goal-scoring leader in Maryland history, gets the first goal, and now we have a whistle against Hopkins. He's out of Lake Brantley High School in Florida, and until his career in Maryland, the most famous alum of Lake Brantley was Jason Varitek, who had a walk-off winner in the state championship.
Who'd easily be working on Wall Street if he wasn't an assistant coach. And he's been brought into a situation now with a strongman shooter, a guy who could light it up sidearm. Now, there's more dodging, there's more ball carrying. He is showing development. He's showing to be a versatile player. He's been a consistent performer for the Terps from day one. His real name is Cole, called Bubba because he weighed 13 pounds at birth, and he's one of the energy, the character, the personalities of this team.
It's going to be a push against Hopkins. He grew up in Utah as a Maryland lacrosse fan. Takes the reins of this program in the middle of COVID-19, doesn't have a fall, and Hopkins has had a rough and tumble go of it in his first season, as this first quarter is going to expire at Homewood Field. But an intense offensive show for the Maryland Terrapins playing football next year.
He was an outstanding option quarterback from Orlando. I remember, Navy offered him. Talking to Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech many times, I'd mention his name, and he was on their radar. He just never got the offer there. I think if he had gotten the Georgia Tech football offer, Jason, he would have gone there and tried to be their quarterback. It's a young man whose dad was a longtime coach.
Bernhardt last moment. And now Narewski against Wierman once again, and Narewski's got another one for Hopkins. Maybe the Blue Jays can go on a run here in the 121st meeting.
I like the Blue Jays. I like their body language. At 5-0, 5-1, we didn't see it.
Yeah, there was every reason to fold it up at 2-7, and that didn't happen as the face-off leads to a whistle, and we'll see what the call is. A lot of discussion here. Kaufman looking around to see who's it on.
To go play when his lacrosse career is done. His dad died in the summer of 2019. Jim Bernhardt
has a goal right off the face-off. Goes for Johns Hopkins to make it 6-4. 6 seconds between goals. You're talking about Bernhardt's dad, who he lost. His father did the same thing in his college career at Hofstra. Football player, lacrosse player, and Jared.
Impact, whether it's vision, whether it's the ball at the release point. It's just too easy for shooters.
Yeah, change the angle, be physical, whatever you need to do, and when you get an open, clear look out. Wierman wins the face-off.
It's your buddy who made that play.
But he's still got to be ready for the pass now. So it's a 5-goal game for Maryland, under 4 to go. And the Terps again.
So fast. And that titanium just pops in half, and the player must drop the stick, both halves of it, and vacate the field.
Was that a promo for yard sale, by the way?
It was. That's our second of the day. Anish got one in Cuse, beating Virginia.
That's a big win for Cuse, by the way. They needed it real bad today.
Circle the wagons. Consider your man to be more dangerous than that player.
Over somewhat. It was interesting talking to John Tillman about Jared Bernhardt and the way he integrated into this program, because he'd been around the program so much. A lot of the guys knew him already, so he sort of had a leg up on everybody to sneak into here and really jigsaw himself in. But
you've got to trust your body, like a hockey goalie trusts his pads to seal off that near side pipe.
Now the Hopkins fans get into it. Jaronsky picks it up. 21st meeting has started to get electric here in the third.
How do you call a swinging strike on a rising fastball?
Yeah,
I think You know, Penn State struggled defensively. Mac O'Keefe setting the all-time goal-scoring record last week. He put on a display of shooting. I just love watching that lefty rip it from distance. Ohio State torching you from the outside.
Dad George was a defenseman at Air Force in his day as that swept aside, and players here, Makar was, he believes, his first client, but it's a safe way to do it, and he's done some craftsmanship on these guys. Quinn?
High and tight, I love it. Good for team unity. Good to save yourself a few bucks. And definitely COVID friendly.
Wierman and Narewski again. Wierman pops it back, still kicking around. Finally scooped by Hopkins.
Yelling loudly, clearly to Epstein, who gets that ball out of his stick quickly.
When's the last time you saw Hopkins play like this?
You know, I saw flashes the last time as possible, and make that shooter tip his hand first.
But you think about that in the context of a first. For a young man out of Sykesville who grew up wanting to be Paul Rabel, there is a brilliant shot from Logan Wisnauskas. Hopkins has won 11 straight faceoffs. And now Maryland finally has one. Geppert from the wing sends it up ahead for Bernhardt. It's a one-goal game. And here is the Terp star Bernhardt. A breakneck pace and a score! 2 goals in 12 seconds for Maryland, trying to keep its undefeated season alive. Narewski booted it ahead. Puglisi picks it up for Maryland.
Condensed. And when Wisnauskas with potentially the game winner, 18 seconds to go.
3 goals in a minute and a half for Maryland. And a face-off that may decide the game. Geppert sends it ahead. 10 seconds to go. Wisnauskas carrying. Floats it up further. And with 5 and 4, the Maryland Terrapins have somehow survived home field.